Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. For those of you that are new to our channel, I am Rhonda, and today I'm going to be working at making a peach cobbler. A couple days ago, my husband and I took a trip to Indiana, and we stopped to a store that we usually stop to quite frequently, several times a year, and it's called the E&S Sales Store. And this is an Amish store that I get a lot of my bulk foods. You can get flour, you can get sugar, you can get all your spices and all that. And we usually hit that store several times throughout the year. And this time we went because it is peach season. And last year we went around this time and I bought peaches there. And I knew that right around this time of the year they carry peaches. So we went there and I found a really great deal. They had half bushel of peaches for $19 a bushel, which if you figure it out per pound, it's 76 cents per pound. A half a bushel is 25 pounds. So it was $19 for 25 pounds, which is a really good deal for us here in Michigan. Usually you can get, like right now at the store, they're about $1 a pound. And even at the orchards, the you pick orchards can be $1 a pound, and sometimes even more. So I found these and I looked at them and they looked great. So they are number 2 peaches, which means that they may have some blemishes or they just don't look perfect to sell in the stores. Which for me, that doesn't matter because I'm gonna can these. Well, I'll can a lot of them. Right now everybody is enjoying fresh peaches, and I'll probably make a pie or a peach crisp or something, all of which our family just really enjoys. So not all of them will be canned, but a lot of them will be. And I wanted to show you the peaches before I make the cobbler. So let me show you what we got. So I have the peaches in the garage at the moment because I'm not going to be able to can these until next week. And I took them all out of their half bushel boxes, which they came in, and I spread them out so that way nobody's touching anybody else, because if one gets a blemish or a bad spot, it will definitely spread to the next. So that's how peaches oftentimes go bad. But for the most part, you can see some of them have a indentation, some have scratches, but they look really good. So these ones here are just on the cardboard tops that they came in. Over here I have some laying out, and some of these, you know, the size of these are amazing, and they just taste really, really good. The flavor is good, they come off the pit good, so I know this is going to be a great canning peach. They didn't have the name of this peach out, so I don't know what this kind of peach is, but this is some more. And the rest of them are over here. I have my onions laying out over there, but I have some over here laying on paper. But yeah, I bought 75 pounds, which is a bushel and a half. And so a lot of these will go to canning. It doesn't look like a lot of peaches to me. We'll see how many jars of peaches we end up with. If I need to get more peaches, I definitely can, and I know where to get them. Alright, I'm back in the kitchen and I'm getting ready to slice these peaches. So I'm going to bring you along and show you how I make peach cobbler. So for my peaches, I like to cut them in half, just like that. I've washed all of them, but I'm leaving the skin on. I just twist that, and I like to just take a spoon and pop out the pit, just like that. And then I take a knife. I like to use a serrated knife for this, and I like to cut it real thin. So thin little, not sure if you can see that, but thin little pieces like this. So I'm going to keep cutting them here. So then what I do, instead of, a lot of people will leave them whole, and you can. It's up to you how you want to make it. It's just preference of what you like. But I cut these in thirds, and so the peach is more in a bite-sized piece, and then I'm putting it in a 9x13. So I'm going to keep doing this. I will do probably 10 peaches, maybe even more, depends on the size of the peach. The recipe I have usually calls for 8 to 10 medium-sized peaches, so I'll just kind of go by looks. Alright, I have all the peaches cut up in pieces, and I just put them in this 9x13 so that I knew how many I was going to need. Now I'm going to transfer into this bowl. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because I have to add some lemon juice. I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half. Oh, by the way, I put in, I think 11 or 12 peaches. So more than the recipe calls for, but so I added just a little bit more. So I added just a little bit more lemon juice. Okay, I want to get that stirred around. That helps it so they don't turn brown on me. Alright, I brought you over to my baking area. This is where I keep all my baking ingredients. And so, to the peaches, I'm going to add some sugar. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar. Since I added a few more peaches, I may add a little more. That's white sugar. Now I'm going to add brown sugar. I want to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar. The next ingredient is ground cinnamon, and I'm going to put in about half teaspoon, not quite a half teaspoon. Next ingredient is nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon, so not very much nutmeg. The last ingredient is either going to be cornstarch or arrowroot powder. I have arrowroot powder, so it's 2 teaspoons of this. And now we're just going to stir this together. Now I forgot to mention when I started to have your oven preheating. So I have my oven preheating at 425. Once you have all your peaches and spices mixed together, then you're going to transfer it to your 9x13 pan. Now I'm going to place this in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, while the peaches are cooking for about 10 minutes, we are going to get the dry ingredients mixed up, which is going to be the topping. So we're going to work at that. First of all, I need boiling water, so I need 1/2 cup of water, and I'm going to get that on the stove so it can start boiling. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use this same bowl, even though there's still some juice in there, but that's going to be fine. We are going to add, I have flour here, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Again, we're using more peaches. So to this, we're going to add 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. Give this a quick little mix in a second. This is what you should look like, just your dry ingredients. And the next thing is butter. So we're going to be working with chilled butter, and I need 12 tablespoons. And you can either cut this up in really small pieces, or you can use a cheese grater like this and just grate it. Here, you can't even see it. You can just grate it up, and it makes nice pieces that are easy to work with also. Pretty good. Put that. Put the rest of it in the bowl. Clean this out. Now it should look like this. I'm just going to stir this in. Okay, this is what it looks like. It has plenty of little chunks of butter in here. And now I have to get the water that is boiling. So I have a 1/2 cup of boiling water, and I'm going to stir that in here, and I'm just going to mix this until it's combined. I want to keep many of the butter chunks as possible. Now it is a consistency of kind of a dough, but inside you can see that there are chunks of butter yet in here, and that is what we're looking for. At this time, we're going to remove the peaches from the oven. I'll bring them over here and show you what the next step is. Here are the peaches, and they are just starting to get really warm and partially cooked. They're quite warm. At this point, we're going to just kind of drop this dough on the top of it. I like to try to cover the majority of the top with this. So this is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. I'm actually going to make a cinnamon sugar sprinkle to put right on the top of this, so I'm going to do that right now before I put it back in the oven. I'm going to take probably a third of a cup of white sugar. And then to that, I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm going to stir it right up in here. This looks like a lot of sugar, so maybe I won't use all of it. So that's what it looks like, just cinnamon and sugar. And I'm just going to kind of lightly cover this with it. Alright, now it's ready to go back into the oven for another 1/2 hour. The cobbler is all done. You can see that it's kind of gooey around the sides, and the top is real soft. It's a little darker because of the sugar and cinnamon, but it's all good. Bubbly. Now we're going to let this cool. Ooh, look at down here. You can serve this warm or room temperature, and you can serve it plain or with some vanilla ice cream. Thanks for watching, everyone.